Good morning. So 10 minutes, in fact you've got 8 minutes now because it's 6:42. It took me 2 minutes to work out how to start the live because Facebook have changed the structure again by the looks of it. Okay, 8 minutes, in fact 7 minutes now, it's 6:43. So 7 minutes, how you can be a millionaire. And people might laugh at that and say it's impossible, but it's not, it's really easy. So point number one, get out of bed and do what you can. So even with an injury, I'm doing what I can. So there's always something you can do. There's always something you can be doing to move forward. So that's point number one. You've got to know where you're heading. So you've got to have a very clear direction of where you're heading, what that looks like, clear vision. You need to understand who to have around you. So the better quality people you have around you, then the quicker you're going to succeed. Simple as that. So if you're wanting to make money in business or property, whatever that is, your direction, get yourself around more people like that. You'll learn a lot quicker. The quicker you learn, the more that you can, better quality action you can take. Your own personal language, what do you say to yourself? If you say things like, I can't, or it's not possible for me, it never will be. I'll tell you that now. So until you say something's going to change and you take action towards that, it's not going to happen. But when you make that decision and you say that, that's the start of it. So you can't change your destination within a minute, but you can change your direction within a minute. So always remember that. It doesn't matter where you are, what's going on in your life, you can massively change where you head. You've got to be persistent. So you've got to be willing to work for something. Be very focused on what that is. You can't flit. People who make money don't flit. They know exactly where they're heading. They know what they're doing, and it's not even so much of knowing how to do it, it's why you want to do it is more important. So knowing the why do you actually want to do something? You've got to be able to be disciplined. So you've got to be able to motivate yourself. You've got to be able to take action in line with the outcome that you want. Mega important. You've also got to build relationships on the way, also important. Now I'm going to give you a few ways how you can do it. If you've got these key things in place, and this is obviously a really quick teach, there's a number of ways you can do it. So you can buy property with no money. And I know people go, what's that bullshit? How is he saying that? How can you buy property with no money? I'm telling you now, categorically, you can buy property with no money. I'm teaching people how to do this all the time. It's why they're going from zero or even debt in some situations to having massive portfolios, because you don't need to have a great credit history. You don't need to have loads of money behind you. It's bullshit. And anyone who's saving money to make money, it's just the most ludicrous way. You will never, ever be a millionaire if you're trying to save up to get there. That's not how making money works. It's about increasing your flow of resources. So you've got to learn how to increase your flow of resources. And we can all do that. So where people are trying to save up 15, 20 grand to get started, it's fucking ridiculously slow. Just learn how to go tap into £10 million worth of investment, and then you get 10% of that. There's £1 million straight away. And tapping into that kind of money is easy if you know who to approach, where to find them. Another thing you can do is using bridging finance. Not something that you want to just jump into if you don't know what you're doing. But with bridging finance, if you can buy the property 25% below market value, then you can get the whole lot financed. There's a number of ways you can do that. I've put in a second charge on some assets, or even somebody else's assets. And you can also, there's certain lenders, specialist lenders, that'll lend on the market value, not the purchase price. And that's the massive difference. So they'll lend on the market value. So for example, if a house is worth 100 grand and you get it for 75 grand, and they're willing to give you 75% of its value, not what you bought it for, then they will give you 75 grand. So it's just knowing how to structure a deal, which is what I teach. Another way is deferred consideration. So another strategy that I teach, and I've only got 2 more minutes. And that's where you take ownership of a property. It's signed over to you. You legally own that property, and you're agreeing to pay them later. It's a little bit like going into a furniture shop and taking home your TV and couch, and you agree to pay them over a 2-year period. It's no different to that. If you know how to structure a deal and a contract, and you have a commercial solicitor, you can do exactly the same for property. And this is another thing that I teach. 1 more minute left. What should I give you? Another nugget. Buying business. So let's say, for example, a business is making 100 grand a year net profit, and the business is being valued at, say, 3 times the multiplier of EBITDA. So that figure would be 3 times 100 grand, which would put a valuation on the business at 300 grand. So what you can do is, you can agree to pay, say, the business owner 50 grand a year for 10 years. So instead of them getting 300 grand, which they've had a valuation of, you can say, I'll actually pay you 500 grand. But I want to give you 50 grand a year for the next 10 years. And you're paying them out of their profits. And again, I teach people how to do this. This is why people are going from zero money at all to making hundreds of thousands, if not millions, per annum. There's your 8 minutes. Making millions is easy when you know how and you've got the right approach. Enjoy your day. Bye.